All right, my good people, welcome back to Real Estate Bites. What are we going to get into today? So, it is the beginning of the selling season here in Northeast Ohio as the weather has officially taken a turn towards warmer and things are starting to green up. Leaves are popping, grass is greening, all this kind of great stuff, right? So, we are about to get into the peak of the selling season, the peak of the year for selling homes. So, a lot of people go into this market and they need to sell their house in order to buy a new house. And this can be complex. It can be overwhelming and very scary. And even for those who aren't scared, oftentimes if you submit an offer on a house that is where there's a competition and you have a home sale contingency upon your offer, that's the first offer that goes in the trash, because if the others don't have that contingency on it, there's no guarantee you're going to sell your home. There's no guarantee how quickly you'll sell your home. So when a listing agent and their seller sees a home sale contingency come in, they are less inclined to go with that offer unless you're willing to overpay and guarantee that you can overpay, right? Then they might entertain your offer. So what are your options if you're going into this season and you want to buy a new home and you have to sell your home in order to do that? There's four options I want to talk about. And the first two are in case you have a bunch of equity in the house, right? These first two options are great for those people who are sitting on a ton of equity. The first is a bridge or recast loan, right? So in this situation, you're taking out a loan. The big problem with a bridge or recast is that you got to be able to afford the two mortgage payments at once. But you're essentially promising that once your home is sold, that you're going to take a certain amount of that money and you're going to put it down towards the house, and they restructure your loan with more of the principal paid off, lesser monthly payments, that kind of thing. So a bridge or a recast loan is a fantastic option for folks with a ton of equity. Again, as long as you can afford those two mortgage payments for a short amount of time, it's a great option. Option number two, which, this is if you have a ton of equity in the home and you're looking to say downsize, and there's enough equity in your home that allows you to purchase your new place with cash straight up. This is an amazing option, and it is the home equity line of credit. So I already breezed through the bridge or recast loan without putting the banner up. We just talked about that. Let's move into the home equity line of credit, or the HELOC. So HELOC it's just that. It's a home equity line of credit. You go to the bank, you apply for this, they look at your equity, they give you somewhere between 70 to 100% of the equity in your home as an available credit line. So what you could do if you are shopping for like a smaller place or a less expensive place, something that costs less than the equity you have in your home, clearly, you can then take out this HELOC, pull straight cash from it, and buy the new place with cash. That cash offer is it is the antithesis of placing an offer with a home sale contingency. A cash offer is about as strong as it gets. There's never a concern about appraisal. There's no concern about financing contingencies, that kind of stuff. So if you can utilize a HELOC to draw cash from the equity in your home to purchase the new place, and then of course, once you go to sell your home, those proceeds from the sale are going to go and satisfy the lien that is the HELOC before you can transfer title. So those first two options, the bridge loan and the HELOC, are great for people who have a bunch of equity in the home. What about those who don't? Well, you really have two options. Oh, let me before I get on the HELOC, this is something that I used to see quite a bit in 21 and 22. I saw a lot of parents take HELOCs out on their home for their kids to go buy a place. So obviously their kids would save money for the down payment. The parents would take out the HELOC, they'd buy it in cash. And then when the time was right, the kids would bring that down payment to the bank and they would refinance the property into their name, and off they go. So that was a way that I saw a lot of folks using HELOCs to help their kids get into that new house in a super hyper competitive market. Okay, moving on. The next options for those who don't have a ton of equity, can't afford two mortgage payments at once, your two options. The first of your two options are to wait until you've gotten into contract for the purchase of a home to put your house on the market, right? So this is the most difficult of all, because as we talked about earlier, that home sale contingency on your offer, it's a huge deterrent for sellers and listing agents. So, you're really you're kind of rolling the dice here, guys. You're going out into the marketplace with a significantly weakened offer. If you're going for a house that's priced fairly, that has the latest and greatest trends, you're just not going to win. Not in this market. You're never going to win that deal unless you are willing to overpay significantly, and you can show proof that you can overpay. If you can't do that, you're not winning, because anybody who does not have that home sale contingency attached to their offer, they move in line up ahead of you, right? If you do decide to write that offer, even if it's not a big competition for the place that you're after, a lot of people don't want to see that home sale contingency because it could tie up the sale of their property for quite some time. And if your house doesn't sell, then they got to go back out on the market. Now their property it's almost sort of stigmatized, because everyone who sees it comes back on the market wonders what's wrong with it. Their agent's going to get that call. What's wrong with it? And it's almost always is going to hurt the sale price afterwards. So if you are going to write that offer, the key, I think, is to make sure when you do put your house on the market, it's priced fairly. And so I would ask my agent to submit my offer along with the address of the home that I'm currently in and I need to sell. I would ask my agent to submit a comp set, right? Disclose the sale price that you intend to sell for. And then in that comp set, have an emphasis on days on market. So again, I need to sell my home. I'm scared about putting it on the market until I'm under contract to buy. So we write that offer. I want my agent to submit alongside my offer an explanation of the home that I'm about to sell, the condition it's in, the address it is, a comp set for similar homes in that area with an emphasis on how long have those homes been sitting on the market. So if your agent can do a good job of that, they can show, hey, look, we've got this house that they need to sell first, but here's the price we're going to sell it at. Here are the comps. So you can see that this price is right in line. And in this comp set, homes like this are selling within, they're on the market 14 days, and if you watch Real Estate Bites, that on the market means it goes out to market, you accept an offer, and it's in the contingency period, and it's passed through the contingency. Then it comes off market. So if your average days on market is 14 days in that comp set at that price point, that means these homes are selling immediately. And to be able to show that to a list agent while you're submitting an offer with a home sale contingency, it will add strength to your offer. When they can see and they can interpret and explain to their seller, hey, look, they have this home sale contingency, but this is their home. This is the condition it's in. This is what homes like this are selling for and how quickly they're selling. That's going to help a lot. Okay, the last option for selling your home with a home sale contingency, oftentimes the most scariest for people, sell your house first. Get it on the market, sell your house. If you're shopping and your house isn't on the market, you have to have it on the market within 3 days per our brokerage's contingency addendum, right? So you got to be ready. Why not just get ready and get it on the market? This scares people. I hear all the time, Jonathan, we don't want to be homeless. We're scared of being homeless. You're not going to be homeless. Okay. Yes, the clock is ticking. You're under contract. A typical contingency period is 30 days. So you have a month to get that house that you're selling under contract. But this is a seller's market. You have the ability to negotiate an extended closing and or an extended possession time. I would always recommend to my sellers, close as soon as possible, extend possession as long as possible. That gets you your money first, and then it allows you to stay in your home until you find the place, right? So this is a great option if you're looking for a typical home. go ahead and get your house on the market and sell it. So if you're looking to downsize, or if you're looking for a typical home, and the typical home in Northeast Ohio is a 1,500 to 2,000 square foot, either ranch, split level, or colonial. So a smaller, ranch, split, or colonial. If that's what you're looking for, you can find them, as long as you're not really, really strict and tight on your geography. As long as you don't have some real specialty needs in the home that you're looking for. If you're just looking for a typical home, and you're willing to move around a little bit, you shouldn't have a problem being able to get your house sold, find the house you want to buy, negotiate a little bit extra time. This is something that happens every single day in this market, and it works. It works nearly all the time. So those are your options. If you are looking to get out into the marketplace and shop for a new home this spring and summer, but you got a home to sell, those are the options that you have. Bridge or recast loan, a HELOC. You could sell before or you could sell after you've gotten under contract to buy a home, or you could sell your home first. All right, very good. Let's get into this week's statistics. Okay, here we are, episode number 88. This morning, there were 378 single-family homes and condos for sale in Lorain County. Last week, there were 66 homes sold in Lorain County. The median square foot of those homes sold was 1,486 square feet. Median sale value, $255,000. The median square foot value, $171.28. Now, this is, again, I talk about it pretty much every time I do this show. This is the metric that I'm tracking to see what's going on with home prices, whether they're going up, down, or staying flat. Last week, I showed you with the numbers, with the graph, home prices continue to go up. We kind of flattened out over the winter, but I would say as of 2 months ago, they just started creeping up and up and up again. Median time on market for homes sold last week, 16 days. So, if you circle back to the things I just talked about with, writing an offer with a home sale contingency and your house isn't on the market yet, that's a metric that you want to show people. That 16 days means for all the homes, those 66 sold last week, they went on the market, they advertised, they received and accepted an offer, and then went through inspections and appraisal period before it was taken off and considered off market. So on average, for the homes that sold last week, it took 16 days to go to market, advertise, receive, accept offers, move through inspection contingencies and appraisal and finance contingencies before it came off market. 16 days. Homes are selling really, really fast. The interest rate continues to creep back up. 6.92% for a conventional 30-year note was where we were this morning. And then the big sale of the week was in Avon Lake, $585,000. It doesn't get too often that we see homes under $800,000 in the big sale of the week, but here we have this one. Let me take you to this. It's not that this home's anything real special. Obviously, you're talking about 2,400 square feet, a 2-bedroom home in Avon Lake. It is a beautiful home. It's newer construction. As you can see, nice open concept here. But the real question and the real reason I wanted to show you guys this place is I'm curious what your thoughts are. Now, I do like this. I like the tile around the fireplace. Adds a little bit of splash. I'm curious to know what you guys think about virtual staging. So here is a 4-season room. This furniture is not real. This is artificial intelligence virtually staging this room, right? That's what the room looks like without the virtual staging. I want to know what you guys think about that. I have sellers who want to use it. I have mixed emotions about it. It clearly, that looks better than this, but that ain't real, right? Also, it can make this couch look pretty long and make the room seem to grow. And while that's a great picture and it looks like the room's pretty long, I have seen virtual staging that makes a room look larger than it really is. So I want to know what you guys think. Is this a thing that bothers you? If you saw this in a picture and then you went to the home and it was this, would you be disappointed? Right? Let me show you another version. Here's more virtual staging. This is obviously a bedroom. As you can see, it looks beautiful. Everything's fresh and clean, looks well cared for, but that's the reality of the room. Virtually staged, what you're going to see when you show up at your showing, right? So what do you guys think? Let me know. Tell me in the comments. That's all I got for today, guys. I appreciate you as always joining me. Until next week, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. I love you, people.